Hey guys, it's Kay from KS Anonymous, and I am back today with another episode of r/Am I the A-hole or r/AITA. AITA if I cancel Christmas because I can't afford it this year. Title says it all: sole provider for family, all credit cards maxed, negative bank balance, upcoming missed payments until my next check, basically destitute for the foreseeable future. My wife and I usually decorate on Black Friday, but this year I don't want to. The thought of putting up our fake tree knowing I'll have nothing to put under it fills me with such a mix of shame, anger, and pain. I would prefer to just let December pass and cut out as many things as I can until I can get my finances under control. Plus, my daughter is 2. She won't know, care, or even remember one missed Christmas. So, AITA, I'm already a failure as a husband and father, so what you say here? I think if your daughter is 2, she's not really old enough to understand that there's supposed to be presents under the tree traditionally. So why not just, make your house look happy at least? Maybe your wife really, I think that probably is something you need to talk to your wife about. Maybe it's something that she enjoys. Maybe you guys can feel festive instead of feeling like symbolically you also have to miss out on Christmas. I mean, Christmas shouldn't be about the presents anyway. So, I mean, if you already have those decorations, it's not going to cost you anything. So, I vote don't cancel Christmas. Just put up the things as your tradition is. And if there's no presents under there, oh well, at least you guys are there and you're enjoying the Christmassy stuff in your house if that's what you want to do. Would I be the a-hole for refusing to show up for my birthday if it includes pizza? This is stupid petty. I'm very aware. At best, it's hilarious, and at worst, it's incredibly annoying, but I don't know what to do about my birthday. Every year since I can literally remember, my mom has ordered pizza for my birthday, which is 3 days before Christmas, by the way. I hate the pizza where she gets it from. I never even want pizza on my birthday, at all. Every year, I beg her not to get me presents. Just please, no pizza, please. No pizza. Her reasoning is, 1, it's the only thing my 80-year-old grandmother will eat. Spoiler, it is not. My grandmother is not picky and will literally eat anything you put in front of her. She doesn't have any dietary restrictions. Grams is as healthy as a horse. Mom says it is grandma's treat because she only gets pizza once a year on my birthday. 2, Sunday is her day to meal prep. She works Monday to Friday and can't be bothered to cook for everyone that comes to my party. Her, my stepdad, my sister and nephew, my boyfriend and my grandma and me. She says she hates cooking. Family meals were always on Sundays when I was growing up, but apparently it's off the table now and she's too tired. Fine. I told her fine. Can we have my birthday not at a mealtime, please? I just don't want to have pizza. Literally anything else or nothing at all. It upsets me because she literally doesn't care what I want on the only day she should care. It's not even about the pizza anymore. I'm just angry that even for one day, she can't put her and my grandma's needs aside for mine. She even said, "Why don't you cook a full meal for everyone for your birthday?" I said I would, but I know she wouldn't eat it. She's picky AF. And anytime I made meals while I lived there, she wrinkled her nose at it and would always say, "Ew, what on earth is that?" "It's oatmeal, Mom." She said, "Oh, right. So I'm getting pizza then." Like I said, it's not even about the pizza anymore. It's about the fact that for the last 15 years of my birthday, I've begged her not to get one food, and she only ever gets that one food on literally the only day I care about. Would I be the a-hole if I just didn't see my family this year for my birthday? I'm just so hurt and angry at the whole thing. I know I'm being stubborn, but it hurts a lot, and I'm ticked. So to me, it sounds like the mom is the one who wants the pizza. Like, she can say it's for grandma, but it's probably for her, considering she's picky, and sounds awful, honestly. No offense, but she does. So no, you know what? I don't think you would be the a-hole. I vote that you see pizza from a place that you hate. There, you can just turn around, and walk out. Just be like, you know what? For once in your life, please respect my desire to not have pizza at my birthday. So, thanks. Because I feel like your mom is probably an awful person in other areas, but maybe this is just the thing that sets you off. Am I the a-hole for telling my friend she's being taught misinformation in her master's program? My friend is studying for a master's in clinical psychology at a really good university. A group of us were hanging out in a social context. We all step outside at one point to get some air, and she starts talking about her degree program. One of our friends jokingly asks her to diagnose him since she's studying psychology. She responds, "Well, what have you been diagnosed with?" This leads to a slightly bizarre conversation about what we've all been diagnosed with. I didn't want to partake in the conversation, but eventually the question was turned on me. I state PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder, because it's true, and I thought better just to answer it, and then we can all get back inside. My friend, the one studying for the master's, unexpectedly responds, "That's not real. It's a creation of our patriarchal society to pathologize being a woman." I'm paraphrasing, but that was basically the gist of it. I respond that she's 100% wrong about that, and it's actually not even categorized as a psychiatric problem anymore, but an endocrine one because they've been able to isolate the problem with hormone receptors that causes the disorder. In other words, it's totally biological. She says that one of her professors agrees with her about it. I tell her that her professor is totally wrong, and I can send her a bunch of research if she'd like. We drop it there, and we all go back inside. The next day, my friend's roommate, who I'm also close to, calls me and says that our friend is really upset that I questioned her credentials and undermined her in front of people by saying that she was wrong on this point, because I do not have any medical qualifications. I just know a lot about this particular disorder by virtue of living with it for over a decade. I thought I was totally within my right to correct her since she was the one spreading misinformation in the first place. But was I the a-hole in this situation? I vote no. I don't think you're an a-hole, because, now this is coming from a person who values truth over feelings about 85% of the time. So if you're spreading misinformation, that to me is a problem. And I feel like the person experiencing it, who lives with it all the time, who has researched it ridiculous amounts of time, is going to know more. And that's okay. I think that someone just got their feelings hurt because they're going through a big ordeal. And instead of being like, okay, I'll have to look into that, they had to be like, well, one of my professors said. When these people teach the same thing, these professors probably have all their lectures memorized because they've done it 5 million times. The likelihood that they knew that it was changed to an endocrine situation, they probably didn't know about that. So they're going to go with the narrative about it being a patriarchal construct. And that's an issue. That's an issue. But I think you were well within your right to say something because she's talking out her butt. And she also asked people to share their diagnoses. Like, they don't need to do that. No one should feel obligated to share their personal diagnoses. So she's kind of being an idiot in general, in my personal opinion. So she kind of deserved it. AITA for regifting my kids their own tablets for Christmas. My kids, 6 and 7, each had an iPad mini. Over the summer, they were having a rough time, constantly fighting with each other and just being brats in general. I lost it one day and took their iPads away, saying they were being sold, never to be seen again. Tears were shed. The iPads were cleaned up, put back into their original boxes, accessories packed away, ready for sale, but I couldn't do it. They went into a box in the closet. Summer passed, fall passed. The kids have been great, and I feel they've earned them back. Christmas is coming. Money is super tight this year. AITA for wanting to clear the iPads with a factory reset, buy a couple new cases as a distraction, and re-gift them their old iPads as new ones. I don't know if I don't know if it's a good idea to like try to deceive them because maybe you'll feel weird about it. So I was reading the comments and some people suggested maybe to instead like, oh, it's a Christmas gift. Santa knew that you were good this year, so he brought your tablets back to you or something like that. I think that would be a better option than trying to fool them into believing they're like totally different iPads, but that's just me. For reference, I'm a 19-year-old full-time college student that works part-time online. For my professor, basically copywriting and editing. Not too many hours a week, but it's still enough to pay for the things I need, such as snacks, gas, and occasionally new clothes. My mom has been unemployed for my entire life, quitting her job when she became pregnant with me. Now that both of her children, me and my 16-year-old brother, are pretty much self-sufficient, she has nothing to do during the days and spends her time either working out, taking care of our dogs, or shopping. My mother and father have both been riding my rear about getting a second job on top of my college work. I explained to them about how my one online job is enough for me and that I'm able to make sure I prioritize school that way, but they won't budge. I pulled out the, well, mom's unemployed, so I shouldn't be the priority person to get a second job card, and my parents were not happy about it. They felt that I was putting my mom down, and she was extremely angry and hurt after I said this. I've been telling her that she should look into jobs for a couple of years now, and she refuses to do so, citing that she has to take care of the dogs. Here's the kicker though. One day she screamed that no one helps her with the dogs, which, when I'm home, I personally watch and take care of the dogs more than she does, and when she said no one helps her, I said, well, that's your full-time job, right? That's what you said. And she was again not happy. So, did I go too far with all this? AITA? TLDR, unemployed mom gets mad whenever I, an employed college student, refuse to get a second job while she sits at home. Edit. Okay, wow, didn't expect this many responses. A few things I would like to clear up. I live at college and my education is on a loan in my name. I'm not mooching, and am usually only home over breaks now. I'm also extremely privileged to be able to be in a home where my mom could quit and take care of me. I know that. But that's not the issue I asked about. I asked if it was unfair to hold her to the same standards that I'm being held to, not about if I'm spoiled or whatnot. A lot of people took it upon themselves to make up a whole life story about me that's untrue. I'm putting myself through school, and the most I get from my parents at home is occasional pocket change when they feel like being nice and sending me some. Anyways, thank you all for your answers, and I will take all of it into account. Edit 2. So many people have come at me for being a spoiled Gen Zer, but so many more have helped me realize that what I said was rash and that our lives are insanely different. I'm planning on apologizing and having an actual in-depth conversation with this over Thanksgiving break to get to the root of why they want me to get a second job so bad. Thank you again for helping me realize the way that I phrased it could be taken differently than what I intended. I appreciate it so much. Also, I'm pretty much done responding to comments on this. Most questions are repeated and can be found in my comment history. It's weird to me that they're insisting that you get a second job. I'm not sure what the story there is. Is it that see, that's the thing. Like, why do they want you to get another job? Is it because you, like, complain about not having much money? Is it because they want you to do something? Like, what is happening there? And then also, why your mom might get stressed out about not having help with the dogs when that's all she does according to you all day. I kind of wonder if there's an issue there that might be why your mom is a stay-at-home mom. You don't always know. Not everybody's open to telling their children about issues that they might have that might make holding down a job very difficult for her. But in general, it's just disrespectful to talk to your mom like that, just in general. And I am glad that you are going to have a conversation with them and try to figure out why it is they want you to have that job and apologize. So I'm glad that that edit was there. AITA for sending back a wedding invitation. This seems really stupid, but the more I think about it, the more justified I feel about my actions. But my mother-in-law thinks I'm a huge a-hole, so I'm looking for some non-biased judgment. On Friday, after I got home from work, I checked the mail to find that my in-laws had sent us a wedding invite. They addressed it to John and Jane Smith. However, my name isn't Jane or even somewhat close to Jane. Think something like Valerie. I was and am extremely hurt that they don't seem to remember my name. even though I have been with my husband for 3 years and I'm friends and interact with them on social media. We also see them fairly regularly, a few times every couple of months, and they attended our wedding in July of this year. My husband called my mother-in-law to explain the situation and why they would think my name is Jane. My mother-in-law started laughing uncontrollably and said that was the funniest thing she heard all day. She then went on to say that she gave them both of our names and addresses when they were asking for invite information, so she doesn't understand how they could have gotten Jane from Valerie. Here's where I might be the a-hole. I put the wedding invite back into the envelope and crossed out the name Jane, wrote my name Valerie above it, and mailed it back to my in-laws with a note saying that we would not be attending. We already have plans for that day. When my mother-in-law found out what I had done, she said that I had ruined the upcoming holiday, Thanksgiving, because my in-laws will feel dumb at their teeny mistake. However, I feel like it wasn't a teeny mistake. They had multiple sources, social media, the text my mother-in-law sent them, calling my husband, to find out my name had they actually forgotten it, but they chose to grab a random name from thin air to put on the invite? So Reddit, am I the a-hole for sending back the invite? Edit, I was told I should update the post to clarify that my in-laws have done other petty things, like call me my husband's ex-girlfriend's name from high school for the first 6 months in the 3 years I've been with my husband, which is the main reason I responded the way I did. So before the edit, I was thinking like maybe not a total a-hole, but a little petty. Obviously, you send the invite information back to let people know, like, if you can or can't make it, and then crossing your name out and being like, this is my name, kind of seemed a tad petty, but I can understand why it would be kind of rude for them to not know your name. But then adding the edit, I definitely don't think you're an a-hole, because they're clearly being malicious, and it's just gross of them to do that, so I think they deserved it. It's okay for them to feel dumb over their teeny mistake, in my opinion, because that's just rude of them. Anyway, I'm interested in everyone's thoughts on these, so let me know in the comments below if you think these people are or would be the a-hole in these situations, and what you thought of the video in general. If you did enjoy it, go ahead and drop a like. Real quick, I would like to thank my patrons. Up on the screen, you should see my face palmers and my crazy K's. Thank you all so much for supporting me in that way. If you are interested in becoming a patron, possibly sending something to my email for possible inclusion in a future video, or if you want to see the original posts from what we read in today's video, all of that information is in the description, so be sure to check that out. And I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye!